Oh, welcome back to the Rock and Roll channel. I gotta change the banner. Hold on one sec, Steve.
Oh,
Ashley's not here. But yeah, we just figured we'd do a quick check-in. WWE, a couple AEW things. I've been doing so much other things, and Steve has been like super patient with me, so it's good to see him here again and talk a little wrestling and just to check in because the plan is hopefully after football we do a lot more of these more often,
no.
especially on the road to WrestleMania and Royal Rumble and all that.
Let me tell you this, Jeremy. I hope you're loving college football. I hope you're loving hockey. Wrestling. If we would have done one of these shows on Wednesday, I wasn't ready to punt it, but I was ready to be like, you know what?
Man, that's saying a lot. No, sorry, Steve. That's saying a lot coming from me because you're so much more positive.
Yeah, I was like, maybe this show's not going to be so good. It's champion versus champion. It's another paid show for WWE, and they went in, and I don't know if it was just the experience. I start work at 5 a.m. every day, so I went to work on Saturday. I fired up Crown Jewel as soon as it started. I did the same thing with Raw. And it was such an awesome feeling to be done with Raw so early in the morning. Like, it was just like,
That's not good. Well, think about it. The whole point of, for me, man, it was like I used to look forward to it all day on Monday.
Oh, I get you. I get you. But it was just different. Like when wrestling was on USA and it would get delayed because of tennis or the dog show, and they would have Thursday. It was so good because you're just not used to it. You're just like, what are we doing here? But I thought this whole Australia trip just worked out perfect. And
nice.
A big thing is Netflix giving us the show live rather than us hearing the results all day long on social media. And then
we said that from the jump.
Yeah.
The first shows leading up to WrestleMania were in Europe. They were 3 my time, 12 your time, and we liked it.
Yeah,
I mean, remember we found out about AJ Styles getting the title the week of Survivor Series that day before the show aired.
Oh yeah, WWE just comes out and tells you like, hey, you might want to watch SmackDown tonight. There's a title change, and
or someone on the internet's gonna give it away. Someone was there, post a picture, and it goes viral. I get it. I'm glad Netflix is like, we don't care.
Yeah. I felt bad for ESPN. The more I thought about it, they just started this whole thing with WrestlePalooza, and then right out of the gate, the second pay-per-view is like, oh, it's in Australia. It's a morning show. It's like them broadcasting soccer or something like that. Like, if you want to watch it, you got to be up 4 a.m. There you go.
Like for us here, like New Japan.
Yeah.
I have a friend that gets up at like 4 a.m. for those shows on a weekend.
I don't miss those days.
No, crazy.
So much fun. We used to get in a Skype call. There'd be like 6 or 7 of us. We'd all it, and you could tell when you haven't heard somebody's voice in a while. They passed out on their computer.
That was me, Jericho Omega, because it started like 3 a.m. the show here, and the show finished at like 8 or 9. Like that Wrestle Kingdom. But anyway, man, we got off topic, but that's how we roll sometimes. We went talking shop style there. Shout out Gallows and Anderson. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Chris Jericho. I know he's not the biggest in the news, but little tidbits have come out here and there, and from him and from things he's a part of. And I think in the next month or two, he's gonna really be a hot topic. So let's be ahead of the curve here. So Jericho did an interview. He was at Universal Studios in Orlando. And they asked him. I was surprised. Like, he's there just to pay tribute to Bray Wyatt, enjoy himself. And it was a nice little lady. He goes, "So yeah, you going back to WWE or something like that?" And he was like, "Listen, I'm with AEW. I love that company. If someone came up with WWE, I wouldn't be opposed to it." He didn't say no.
Yeah,
he didn't say no. In the past, he used to always say, "Huh? No, no." He said, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I'm with AEW, and I'm super happy, and I love the direction of it. He said, I love the company, something like that. Company line. Big sign there. He's been on IG before that, posting pictures of back in the day in WWE for him. And then yesterday we get word of the Jericho cruise. Remember, we've been saying they delayed the announcement. It's in November this time because of his birthday. He wanted to celebrate his birthday on the cruise. And I looked at the talent lineup, and it always has like the special guests and the legends on it. And then you'd always see wrestling by AEW.
Oh, yeah.
This time, no. No AEW mention on the thing. Now, could it change? Absolutely. But I noticed there's a TNA presence on the cruise this time. You got Jeff Hardy. You've got Bully Ray, Nick Nemeth, and a bunch of others. Some NXT too, Casey Costanzo, who was there for a while. I found that interesting. Saraya, I know she doesn't really do TNA, but she's not an AEW anymore. She's like one of the VIP. They renamed it this year for stuff. But anyway, you did not get that AEW feel. Now, obviously, with the legends and that stuff, it doesn't have to be AEW. But they always would say wrestling by AEW, matches by AEW. You didn't see that here this time. Now, you can change a banner anytime. They said months ago, as far as we know, he's cruising with us. We just don't know what company he's going to be with. So what's your take on it? Jericho's so good at stringing people along, even though he's not, I hate to say this, the commodity he was in 2018.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on him. It's just age catches up to you.
Sometimes when you make these videos, you got to say stuff that you wish you didn't have to say. But it's like his run started out, I mean, he was so big at the beginning of AEW. They made him out to be such a huge star.
He was.
And they kept it afloat for a long time. But I think he saw like that run with the ROH title. It's kind of like, I got nowhere to go from here. I don't see him as a guy in AEW, like rejoining the title picture. And I don't think he just wants to be a guy. And I think if he's going to end it somewhere, I think going back
real quick, a friend of mine wants me to give Undertaker finisher on our coach from Florida State.
No,
sorry, Pete. No, I won't do that to him.
But
that was a good one.
I just think that like he knows, like I'm going to go in, they're going to treat me special. And I think it's going to be a lot like the Ric Flair deal that he got when he went to WWF back in the day. We'll treat you as a main eventer, and whenever you feel like we're not, you can go. And like that, I think
I agree with the second part there, not to play devil's advocate or anything.
Yeah.
I think with this new group, maybe he's got some opportunities in WWE that he wouldn't have had with Vince. He said it flat out on the cruise. He said, if I had gone back to WWE in 2018 or whatever, I know right away it would have been right away with Kevin Owens. Right away, they want the list, and I wouldn't want to bring back the list because I like to do new things.
Yeah.
So he mentioned that, and he said he would have tucked his tail if AEW failed early on and went out of business. He would have tucked his tail and went to WWE. Who knows? But he said that, and he said, I think maybe he can he's not going to reinvent himself, but he can come back as this version of Chris Jericho, the rock and roll guy, this version of not the AEW completely Chris Jericho, but what he wants to be more than Vince saying you're Y2J and bring back all the old catchphrases that he doesn't want to do anymore.
The more I watch the current product of wrestling, especially WWE, like if he would have gone back to WWE and it would have been like 2018, Jericho would have been wrestling on Raw. He would have wrestled on SmackDown. He would have wrestled on a pay-per-view. In this current state of WWE, a guy like Jericho is probably going to wrestle at the most once a month.
Yeah.
Once every two.
Yeah, he get a Legends deal.
Yeah, they have a good way of like the Seth Rollins, CM Punk, like these top guys. You see them, but you don't really.
Yeah. Triple H is much different than Vince there. In that regard.
They keep
Brock Lesnar,
everything out within a year. Like you can keep things going for 3.
Right. And if he wants to do more, they'll be open to it. But I think he's also like, I mean, he's not going to say it, but he's not the attraction he was 7 years ago when he left. So he's like, if I do too much, I'm gonna fade real quick there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure part of him's like, give me a year or two there. I mean, he's 54.
Yeah, but he could
And if
do
he's
something
55.
memorable. He could turn that into a WrestleMania feud.
Exactly. For the
And
big stuff, a big Rumble match, something big. I'm sure they're more open to him in other ways. Because remember, he said that the sign for him was when he was match 2 at that WrestleMania in Orlando against KO.
yeah,
He's the best story going for a year, that storyline, maybe a little more, almost 2 years. Anyway, and he said, like, match 2 was like the most slap in the face you could get. And
and
Vince's
then
original plan,
the match, he didn't like it. Like,
yeah, the original plan was main event. Jericho was going to win the title. He said he understood business took over with Brock and Goldberg. And then obviously they moved Taker to the main event. But he said, if I'm not main event, I want to be first match. And we earned that right. So that was his sign to leave. I'm sure he's had his sign in AEW. I think it might be the ROH, like you pointed out. Jericho's good at seeing signs. I think you pointed out the sign really well.
Yeah,
and we haven't seen him on TV since then.
I don't remember the name of the show, but the last match was the Bandito match, right? Mm-hmm. Where he lost the championship. So he's done it all there. I mean,
he's worked with everybody. Yeah. He's got it. I almost said something inappropriate, but he got his fix there. He got to work with a ton of different people that he's wanted to work with. Because he said, if he stayed in WWE, who hasn't he worked with at that point?
Yeah.
Now, if he goes back, there's a lot of fresh meat on the bone for him in WWE.
Oh, big time.
Which he didn't have in 2018.
AEW, if you go over, you can find their DVDs. They release the pay-per-views, but they haven't got into the market of making like documentaries yet. Someday I hope they will. But there's a book coming out in November. It's just like
this November.
It's called The History of AEW, but it's a hardcover book. I think it's going to be a lot like the encyclopedia is for WWE, but it's probably going to have stories in there. I'm hoping. I already ordered it, but I don't think there's a way to tell the beginning of AEW without having huge chapters on Chris Jericho.
They don't get the TV deal they got without him.
That's a perfect way to put it.
And Jericho, and I'm not trying to. I mean, plain and simple. We could talk about the Bucks and Cody and Kenny and the Elite and how red hot they were at that time. You walk into. I mean, Tony Khan had the connections with TNT.
Yeah.
Because he had said that in the negotiations to get the Elite, like, I think I can get us on TNT. Like, I know those people. But Chris Jericho puts you over the top.
Yeah.
That's a mainstream guy. That's a huge name. Other than the 2 seconds of All In, he had never wrestled since he was in WWE for another company in America. It was a big deal. Yeah. And then he was able to go into live TV with him as champ.
Yeah, especially like the fact that they're going to TNT, the former home of WCW. They're not going to put on like Destination America, like
right
back in the day. Like you're channels trying to find like you already know what number it is.
Oh, Sal's there. Sal, we should have sent you a link. Get your opinion.
Oh,
what is up? I owe you a call, Sal.
Monday, I hope you're going to Raw. I'm not going. Straight up, honest truth, too much money, but I hope you're going.
I don't blame you. I forgot they're gonna be in Sacramento Monday. And I'm not that far from there. But anyway, yeah, so no, and I'm not trying to say like they did a lot for him too. Let's be honest. He got to be in main event matches in ways he wouldn't have been in WWE at that time. Here, check this out.
Oh,
you see if you were there. Yes, Sal, he said, "Screw you, Triple H. I'm not going."
$300 to sit in the hundreds.
Crazy, dude. With the Cena ticket, we're gonna get into it later. Now they're on pre-sale now, but I saw some of the platinum seats for Cena's last match.
Yeah,
cool. I've seen the wrestle before. I'm fine. But anyway, so yeah, I just think it's he's laughing. But I think it's apropos that he just go back there for a short run, finish his career. He's always played the rock and roll I don't need the Hall of Fame type, because most of these wrestlers, even if they say they don't care, man, it's a big deal for them for conventions and bookings to have WWE Hall of Famer, because your booking price goes up. Jericho's done so well that, like, if he doesn't get an extra $5,000 for something, he'll be okay. Dude, I'm not saying he doesn't care. I'm just saying, like, from what the mega contracts he got in AEW, with Fozzy, with everything, he can play that rock and roll bad boy thing. Man, I don't need the Hall of Fame. If they want to put me in, I might not even show up like Axl Rose, which I thought was cool.
I say this.
He deserves to be in it, man. He deserves to be in it.
You were at WrestleCon with me in Las Vegas. Like, let's say you just slid Jericho into this year's listing. Like, there's the Flairs and like the names like that are always there at every.
Yeah.
I think you put Jericho on that list. Jericho's like the biggest name.
Jericho was scheduled to be at the one in Tampa for WrestleMania. The one that was canceled, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Jericho was scheduled. He was doing not 3 days there.
Yeah.
He was going to come in Saturday for 3 hours, I think. 3 or 4 hours inside. It's local for him. But yeah, he and now WWE, I think, allows people to do that a little bit more now. I could be mistaken.
Oh yeah. They don't care. No current roster, but like the Hall of Fame guys, whatever you want, as long as it's not interfering with something we need you to do.
Correct. Like, I remember years. This is like 10 years ago. A company in Lauderdale had Steamboat booked for a night because they would allow legends to do other stuff. WWE didn't like that it was running opposite a big NXT show 2 hours away. They pulled Steamboat. So they asked him, like, why can't you do it? And he said, I'm on an ambassador deal with them. They can pull me for any reason.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's got different deals, whatever the language in the contract is. But I think with Jericho, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He can play that rock and roll bad boy all he wants.
And he's what they need. Like, he is a true main event, top of the bill. Put the guy's name on a ticket. It's going to sell Hall of Famer.
And we haven't seen him there in so long. So the mystique is back. Kind of like when they saw Cody Rhodes come back, who didn't have the run in WWE prior to him leaving, like Jericho did. And look what it did. Now, I'm not saying Jericho is Cody now, because he's not. No disrespect to Jericho. But they saw that and said, man, look at what Cody Rhodes coming from AEW did for us. Sold a ton of tickets, one of our top 2 or 3 merch people. We get Jericho on a kind of a Legends run.
Yeah.
That's good money. I think you just said that. So I think from that standpoint, it's great. And Jericho, I don't say reinvent himself, but he can kind of come back fresh there in ways he can't do in AEW anymore.
Yeah.
And he didn't say no to it there. He said, I would not be opposed to it. And that's as much as you're going to get out of Jericho. So I was surprised at that. He didn't say, well, my contract ends here, like the Bucks would do. The Bucks flat out told you when their contracts were ending at ROH. But Jericho, we think November, December. So we've heard. I'm not going to do some digging on that. I don't think if I really wanted to, I probably could, but it's just not worth it. I'd rather just be surprised like any other fan. So I think we're in agreement there, Steve, that great for both. And even A&W too. Like, he's done everything there. If you're Tony Khan, it's like, dude, I've re-signed him twice for bigger money every time. I'm not going to get the return now that I did in the past.
Yeah.
I think both sides is mutually beneficial to move on.
I think, like, with WWE, when they bring Jericho on, there's going to be a spot where somebody's going to fall off, and that person can fall to AEW, and they could be as big a star as Jericho ever was.
Yeah, for sure.
Help them in the long run.
It's kind of surprising, but obviously you never know in this business. I'll never forget, before the first Double or Nothing, Jericho did a great podcast breaking down the event. And each match and everything behind it, and obviously talked about his match. And he said something that really caught my attention. And I don't know how I remember this all these years later. He said, I think he said 15 years from now or 20 years from now, I obviously won't be wrestling for AEW, but I'm going to be there working for them and helping them out behind the scenes. So if he were to leave, and obviously things change in time, like, I get it. I like the qualified thing, so I don't look like an idiot. I'm sure I do that anyway sometimes. But it got me thinking. It was like, man, that's how much he loved and believed in that company at first. And he was right. there had to be something that happened. If he were to go back to WWE, which we think is going to happen, something have had to happen where maybe he's not leaving on bad terms, but something soured him to that place.
Mm-hmm.
And Jericho, it's hard for him to keep his mouth shut. In time, he would probably tell us. That's what I'm wondering between me and you, or anybody watching, what that moment might have been, what the signs were in that regard. Do you see any moments where you're like, I don't think Jericho's happy here as he was at one point?
Just the time when his body fluctuated so bad, and I don't know how to say this the right way, but like he got himself back into shape. But just every point when he kind of lost it, that's kind of when I was like looking at like what's going on there. Is he not like his spot?
I think he was also on the road with music, and it was hard to train.
I get you. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he was when he wasn't wrestling, he was on the road with Fozzy. So it's hard to train every day there. So that was why I always said, dude, look at his schedule. The guy's never not busy.
And think about it. It's been a bit. He came out with a book of his matches, but it wasn't really like the books that he had written in the past. Like, think when he actually gets the chance to sit down and write about his AEW thing, write a book, and then especially if he does go back to WWE, like he can cliffhanger a book with that, kind of like how his first book ended when he debuted in WWF, and then like he has another book he can write once that book's over.
He's closing the story there.
Yeah,
kind of cool. That's a great point because, well, in his defense about the book that wasn't as big as the others was he went to those old publishers with that idea and they all turned him down.
Oh,
that's why he had to do it independently on his own. But yeah, so all right, man, we've given Chris Jericho his own hour tonight, which is fine. But I think it's going to happen. I think every tea leaf is there to make it happen. He'll do a good job of stringing it out. He's very good at that. But I can see Jericho down the line saying, I didn't hide it that I was coming back. Like I can see that could be his way of teasing it. Like I didn't hide it.
Never said anything bad about the company. He's never taken a shot at anybody there. He just kind of just goes with the flow.
The most he ever said was, and he wasn't wrong, was when he left for AEW, Vince banned all his talent from being on his podcast.
Oh.
And he wasn't allowed in the building to like hang out.
Oh, damn.
He was like, yeah, WrestleMania is near me in my hometown. I can't even visit them. Like, how petty. That was the most he ever said. But the Vince is gone.
The one thing I just looked up a second ago was that like Jericho still does his podcast. It's been a long time since I've listened to it. Got on his street. But I mean, like when I remember like after All In, he like immediately made a podcast talking about how he was able to do that surprise run-in. And like he had Omega on like the night after their big Wrestle Kingdom match.
Like,
that was a great podcast. I'm sure it still is if you listen to it.
How he wound up in AEW, that was a great one too. How he wound up there when he explained about why he left it.
When he lost the title. When he got stolen.
I'm not proud about where it happened.
Oh, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, I'm not proud about that. Tallahassee, of all places. But hell of a story. And I knew the limo company that he was talking about. It was so embarrassing. But those were great. Like, his show was great. I don't know. Like, I don't listen to podcasts as much as I used to. I should, but I don't. But yeah, I think it's gonna come, but he'll do it right, and he wouldn't come back if he couldn't do things. I don't want to say completely on his own terms.
Yeah.
Without major say. Like I'm sure if he flat out said notice, I mean they would honor it.
Yeah.
Where Vince is gonna be like, nope. I'm sure if he wanted to come out to Judas, they would let him.
I'm sure they will sit down and they will book out Royal Rumble to WrestleMania at 100%. Least. Like
or at least a SummerSlam.
This is where you're going. This is what you're doing.
Yep. Or SummerSlam. And I think him and Triple H have really mended fences in the past.
Oh yeah.
So that's a big one. And Triple H is a spoke in the wheel. Like everyone says, well, if you don't get along with Hunter, you can't come back. Yeah, you can. Yeah. It may not be as pleasant, but you can come back.
They've talked about the fact that the reasons why they had so much beef when they were wrestlers was the fact that Triple H saw him as an equal. And he was kind of like fighting for his own spot. Like once he got into management, I think it was different. But I mean, when
that's cool.
Jericho first got there. I mean, that's why they had the beef they did backstage.
Yeah, and Jericho didn't want to be in that program with China, and that was Triple H's significant other, and there was beef there too. Mm-hmm. It was from a competitive standpoint, like Rock and Austin. They're friends, but they had a serious professional rivalry, which makes sense. Mm-hmm. And they did a podcast after that where they were cool. Yeah. And Jericho said no, when he first started the cruise, he went to Triple H and got the runaround, but it wasn't Triple H's ultimate call.
Yeah.
And Triple H even said, if you need me to send a ring, like, I'll do it. So that's why I'm curious. I noticed that on the banner of his cruise. But anyway, moving on. Someone asked me about this today, so I just wanted to pose it to you because we talked about it in the past, but we didn't get any speculation. We didn't give any speculation. And you're the one to ask because you've done a much better job of keeping up with it. Actually, before we get into that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to tease it. Let's get into just Raw real quick. You were saying you enjoyed the Australia show. What do you think it will do? I think we missed it. I'm rumbling. How did you feel about the Vision turning on Seth Rollins the other night?
I was shocked.
Were there any rumblings of it? Were there any signs on TV?
Okay,
I'm behind. I'll admit it.
Let's jump in the rewind on the Rock and Roll channel, and let's go back to before Saturday night's main event back in July. And I said something that I had heard on a podcast with John Pollock, and I told you for the first time, like, I don't think Rollins is hurt, and I think this is the big plan. I don't think Rollins has got a plan this time. I think Rollins really got hurt, and I think that's why
they
had to do what they had to do. If you watch the Crown Jewel match with Cody, they did a spot where it was kind of like the Van Terminator that RVD used to do, or Shane McMahon, but they didn't use a steel chair. And Rollins jumped from one turnbuckle to the other, and Cody was like laying way out to make sure that he hit him. But after they hit, Rollins went down weird, where like he tried to catch himself on the mat, and like you don't see it break, you don't see it do nothing, but you're like, I know that hurt. Like,
right. And he's had past like issues with that body problem. Sure.
And so I mean, I don't know if they just need to take him out of the picture for a minute or two, but I think Rollins is done. Like, I don't know. I just think that's the only reason that I can think why they did what they did. And just when they were building SummerSlam, they already made it look like Braun Breaker was the guy. And that's why I thought they were going to build the storyline of Braun Breaker being mad that he got pushed to the back again because Rollins didn't tell him that he wasn't hurt. He just a plan that Heyman and him had at the time. So that's the only thing I can make sense. I mean, I can come up with ideas in my mind to make this make sense. If Rollins is going to work War Games, like that means Rollins is basically going to have to go to everybody that's ever been wronged by Paul Heyman and try to get it back.
And him.
Like we still have an open thing from WrestleMania 41. Heyman turned on Punk and Roman that night. So the only problem is like Rollins just stole the championship from CM Punk at SummerSlam. And that's the storyline they've been working with WrestlePalooza, is trying to get revenge from that and get his title back. Him and Roman are like the biggest rivals of all time when it comes to WWE. So how do you get that guy to join your fight? So, I mean, this could be really good booking if it's really good booking, but I don't think it is. Like,
you know what? No, just enjoy it because you're going. You're going.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I'm like, are they going to totally have to transition? Because who are you going to put on this team with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed where it's not too lopsided? Because how about this? If you put Brock on this team, which a lot of people were kind of future, like, come up with their own storylines, as that's why they were putting them back together with Heyman. Now, all of a sudden, Braun Breaker, who just turned on Seth Rollins, is taking a back seat again.
But that could set up the Braun and Brock match that people have been expecting and hoping for.
Oh.
I heard behind the scenes they're really high on Braun Baker.
I've loved that guy for a long.
He's awesome. I see why.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's cool. I'm not going to give my opinion because I really haven't kept on as much. All I know is when you text me about it, it surprised the heck out of me.
You were like, "What?"
Yeah, I was. I'm like, what? Like,
Rollins?
I can't believe it. Yeah. So that'll be cool. And Rollins has to go and like apologize to all these guys who he screwed over, which makes for good TV. So Roman tends to be a forgiving guy though sometimes. Even with Punk, where he was like, one wise man's favor is blah, blah, blah.
Well, the one thing we got to remember is, okay, CM Punk won the match, which never should have took place storyline anyways. It didn't make any sense. You have the three biggest baby faces going into a match against each other. Why don't you just let them go into the ring, beat the hell out of each other, and then those three guys come down and beat all of them up?
Right.
And then there's no winner. If there's no winner, there's no number one contender. Rollins doesn't have to defend the belt. I don't know why they didn't do that.
I mean, you're looking at Seth, Punk, Cody, Roman, and Jey Uso.
Yeah. So
the all-time white meat babyface team. But
so we already have a match that Seth has to fight CM Punk. It's going to take place at Saturday night's main event, day after Halloween, the 1st of November. But then if Rollins keeps the belt and he kind of is trying to put together a War Games team, he can use that belt to kind of build his team. And last year's War Games was built on favors. The favor built all the way into WrestleMania. Like if Rollins says, like, I'll give you a title shot, I'll give you a title shot, we just got to get in this match, I think it could make sense.
That's so favors again.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready for me to slam the door?
Or like his apology tour.
You ready for me to slam the door on you?
Slam the door on me?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
What if Rollins is fucking everybody again? And what if we get into the cage and it's a 5-on-5 team and all of a sudden it becomes 6-on-4 and we find out that Rollins isn't hurt again?
Cool. It'd be great TV.
Hardest man
in the world. Be great TV. I'm all for it. But we weren't shocked the first time. This time, be a different story. But no, I'm hearing you. So I like your analysis there. You got me wanting to go on YouTube and catch up on stuff now. So let's talk about Cena's last match. We haven't talked about it. All we said on one episode, as you pointed out, is going to be in Washington, D.C., which is cool. Saturday night main event. I'm of the opinion, I mean, it's a big deal, this last match. And
yeah,
everyone's going, and he texted me today, and I just said, congratulations, you're going to be part of history.
There you go.
Whether you're a Cena fan or not, that's going to be a historic night. That being said, we all talk about who should he wrestle, who should he not wrestle. First off, it's whatever he wants. I mean, that goes without saying. That's why, even if I don't like it, I'll like it because that's what he wanted. That being said, I want a surprise. I don't have to know before the show. I'd love to see either people vying for it, that opportunity, or Cena saying something as somebody you'll never guess, something like that, because people are going to watch anyway. It's not a pay-per-view where if you don't spend the $50, you can't watch it. I understand it's on Peacock, right?
Yeah, you have to pay
on Peacock. People have it. You can do that more. Why don't he make it an open challenge? Why don't he go back to his roots? I still love the Jonathan Coachman idea of a gauntlet.
I don't think it's going
to be different things of his past.
I don't think it's going to be a gauntlet, but I don't want to say this because I said that I was never going to talk about this guy ever again.
The Rock. I'll say it for you.
The Rock.
I think that ends the moment in Toronto.
The Rock, I think, has so much to win off of this. It's a way to publicly apologize to the wrestling fans for not showing up for WrestleMania 41. I think it's a way to kind of win.
He was advertised, right? He never was advertised for 41.
He wasn't.
He got very defensive. He's a long game guy.
We all knew.
He might have been thinking about this when they did the turn, but
we haven't seen him since the Chamber.
No, we haven't.
Like, what are we doing here? There's no way to say
he did the Pat McAfee show, and he got was it McAfee or somebody?
Yeah, it was McAfee the day after.
When he got very defensive, not at Pat and angry, but like, well, how come you weren't at Mania? Well, what was the point? It was John. Why would I take away from this story?
Yeah,
that was almost character right there.
The Rock is a guy who I think is very protected in wrestling and in the movies and TV, in interviews, and the fact that
he's got someone waiting there for him.
Yeah, the fact that he was recently asked on this TV interview, how much influence do you have on John Cena's last match? That was me. I'm sold. I don't care what people say about Gunther. Gunther to me, honestly, doesn't make a lot of sense. And
would have been cool at some point along the way, but not in the last match.
The one thing I did hear, which would be a damn good idea if they did it, and it could make sense, but if they had a tournament of people who wanted to fight John Cena in the last match, and that's what built to this last match, that would make sense if Gunther came back for that. But I mean,
Tony Khan was booking. That's what we get because that guy loves him a tournament.
Yeah.
So I think I like the Rock idea. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Can't stand the guy, but I think it ends that story perfectly from the night Cena turned.
And they're one
Rock wanting revenge. Right, they're 1-1.
28-29.
And Rock wants revenge for Cena turning back to babyface.
Yeah.
I would love to hear down the line of what his thought process was when he just turned babyface off a promo against Cody the night before SummerSlam.
I think they all sat down and was like, this storyline's fucking not working. I apologize, but it's not working and we need a way out of it. And they said, let's just.
Yeah, I'm sure Cena said, I mean, Cena can sell ice to an Eskimo.
Yeah.
It's not good. Only guy in a promo that can, but he did a great job of making everybody wonder going into SummerSlam for 48 hours.
And the fact that they went out there and had that great of a match at SummerSlam.
Match of the year.
Yeah. Well, it's number 2 to me. Number 2 now.
What was one?
AJ versus Cena at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, I heard that was great.
It was great to me.
It was so weird. I'm at the sports bar watching football the other day. So it's like it was during the noon games.
Yeah.
Someone coming in. Did you see the wrestling pay-per-view this morning? And I'm like, no, but it was just to hear it. Like
I watched the match again when I got home. As soon as I got home, fired it up and I wanted to see it one more time.
That good?
Yeah.
Better than their previous matches?
Easy.
Wow. I was at the Money in the Bank one and I loved it. One of my favorite matches live, which I should have said something about that on our thing. But that's it for me there. I think I mean, all signs point to it. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to go, oh my God, it's The Rock. I just think it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Ron is the type of guy that cares about the company so much that he'd be willing to sacrifice part of his last match if it helps the company for 6 months down the line, a year, whatever, to Rania. It sets up Rock and Roman really well too.
Yeah.
In some capacity, which we don't know yet, but it makes sense. It makes sense. And Rock's due for a match because I'm sure it's in his contract. He's got to do it.
He's got to do something. I mean, we haven't seen that guy since February.
It's been nice. Nice. I was happy not to see him at Mania. I was that guy. I just cracked up. Remember, I pointed out to you, oh man, they're selling his shirt here tonight. And you were like, you better be here. You better. But Steve, man, I appreciate you coming on. And you've been doing great stuff on your channel, as always. One of the OGs in the wrestling game. He doesn't like when I say it, but it's true. When you go to San Diego, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot at all. I should have asked you this off, but I'm going to do it. Are you going to vlog at all? Are you going to?
Sure. Unless my buddy Miguel is just not into it.
You're tired of it? Yeah.
Me and him have done this so many times that I think he would be kind of like thinking I'm weirded out if I wasn't doing it. So I will put my phone into his face as much as I can.
I'm looking forward to watching it. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I'm not going, and I think it's going to be a really good show. Yeah. A Survivor Series at a baseball park, it's always an arena show.
I think that's so weird. It's one of the
it's so awesome.
Yeah.
No, not weird, awesome. Not to correct you. I'm sorry. I'm on a rant. I loved when the War Games was in a stadium back in the late 80s. That summer Great American Bash Tour when they did the War Games in all these big stadiums. Well, Steve, hold on. I see. Do I see a change up there?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I took her down. I made it look like it's a choice.
it is a choice. It is a choice. But I think Survivor Series is going to be a good show now.
Yeah.
And I know I sound hypocritical saying it because I haven't kept up with the product, but that's the time that's going to get you ready into Cena's last match and the Rumble.
That's it.
So you're going to be there, I think, for the kickoff of that big push to Mania.
Something's going down. Something's going to happen. I mean, every Survivor Series is everything. Every Survivor Series has always been huge. Whether it's the screw job, CM Punk coming back. I mean, every the debut of the Shield. I mean, like every Survivor Series has something. Undertaker's debut. Whew,
yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's and you're doing it in a big ballpark, and you're doing it on a big football weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make a statement. So I agree with you, man. I think it's going to be a good show. That's why the night they announced it at the Raw after Mania.
Yeah,
we were on different sides of the building. I texted him like, "I think you got to go." And you're like, "I know, I do. I'll be there." But yeah, I think you're gonna have a good time there.
I got you.
I
don't
think
normally do this.
It could be Rey Mysterio's last match there too.
Shit, I will. The Dom match is gonna be huge. Dom's gonna be the biggest star they have there.
In San Diego?
If it's Mysterio's last match, they need to do Dom versus Rey.
In San Diego at a baseball stadium?
Yeah.
You can't script that better. I know it's wrestling and it sounded dumb, but
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think Rey has to have his last match there. The guy used to wrestle in front of 12 people in San Diego and in Tijuana. To do it in front of, what are you looking at, 40,000 that night? Between 38 and 42,000 probably?
It's got to be huge. Yeah. And I knew it's not like I just got right into the pre-sale when they went on sale. So I know a lot of people are
coming. You did. And I've been hyping it up for you. So 94 Yoko versus Purple Taker. There we go. Yeah. But that's it for me.
I don't normally do this. I don't normally do this but if I can plug one of my videos, it's my favorite.
Okay, Steve, can I say something?
Yeah.
Don't ever say you can't, because one of the reasons I want you in the show is also to promote your stuff too. So please always plug your stuff.
One of my favorite videos that I made all week, and it's a dream. I don't go looking for scoops or nothing like that. I didn't find this. I heard it on a podcast. They were kind of just live talking, and all of a sudden this guy ran across it. If you go to network.wwe.com, it looks like the WWE Network is coming back. It is connected. It looks like a real site. It looks like it's connected to Netflix. It looks like it's connected to ESPN. You can create an account, but it doesn't have anything set up to charge you yet. It doesn't tell you how much money it's going to be. I think it's honestly, if you have WWE through ESPN or Netflix, I think you're going to be able to get in. You can see all of the shows. You can see all of the pay-per-views. Everything's there. You just, when you press it, nothing will play.
Yeah.
So I know that Peacock is ending, I believe, around WrestleMania time in March.
Yes.
So I'm just holding out hope that the WWE Network's coming back. There's a little bit of smoke there. I'm hoping there's a huge fire. We need some way to watch SummerSlam 94. We need to watch. We need these old things to live on somewhere.
I agree. A lot of legends are making money still in wrestling because of the network.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. What I'm going to do is, to promote this video, is I'm going to put it in the description tonight, that actual video. And in the comments for Steve, write how awesome the video is. And if you write rock and roll after you write a comment and a like on this, prove that you liked it, and I will just give you a shout out on air.
I'll send you an autograph 8x10. I don't even know. I'll do whatever you can do.
Autograph 8x10 of Steve Breech. That used to go for a lot at WrestleCon back in like 2010, 2011. But yeah, just do something that shows that you watched the video. We'll come up with a prize or something, man, because Steve has given up so much of his time to be on this show, never plugs his stuff, even though he should more, because he's that nice a guy. So just do something to prove that you liked it and commented, and we'll come up with a prize or something.
There we go.
We can find something. We'll do some type of raffle or something. We'd love to do that because the plan is after football season for me is to do these shows once a week.
We're all in.
We're all in. All in. Oh, whoa, Jericho's not sure. But yeah, just let us know in some way that you watched the video, and it's going to be in the description within 5 or 10 minutes after this show.
That's it.
Awesome. I need to watch it too. I apologize, buddy.
No, man. WWE Network returns 2020.
Yeah. But Steve does a great job, and I don't do this. Is he'll watch a pay-per-view and just give his analysis. And what's great about it with Steve is he doesn't talk about it from I'm an expert, I know everything. He just talks about it from just being a fan and what he thought.
I think that's so cool. Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. So that's how I gravitated to your stuff back in the day, man.
If a match sucks, it sucks. And
but you're not saying, well, Ziggler should have countered here and watch this spot and no, man, it's which is great. Which that's the nice thing of being a wrestling fan. But Steve, man, anything else you want to add? Promote, please, man. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
This was fun, yeah. And watch Steve's video. Watch this one too. Give a like on it if you can. I got more. We're gonna do more wrestling stuff. I got a lot more football stuff if you like football, and other stuff. Steve and I are gonna try to collaborate and come up with some other brainstorm sometime. Talk about other things. Looking forward to hearing his. After Survivor Series, man, come on, and I want you to do a recap of that trip and the show.
Oh, no worries, man. All good.
It would be great to hear that. And then go on his channel as well because you're going to get some cool content from it. All right, man. So for me, Steve.
Peace out, man. Thank y'all very much.
Boom.